Let me hear you scream. It's the We Worldwide DJ Coalition.
Yeah! BDSIR Network is the... No. Let me start this again. I have to remind me now, people. I'm in Canary Wharf right now. The Qube, Canary Wharf. And this is all thanks to one person. Not me, not this guest, not even this guest. It's down to this lady right here. It's the best damn show in Worldwide Radio. What are you doing? My name's Grab Body P. Acknowledge me. Say it to me. Yo, International Fleet Radio, what's good? RePPiN4U Spot R920, what's good? Who's the other one? Street Madness Radio, what's up? Live at the Qube. This is the hip hop round table, the Knights of the Qube table, man. I want to introduce this man right here. Acknowledge the man, Carl Harris, the Legacy. What's going on, sir?
I'm good, fam. You?
Me good, man. Me good, me blessed. Me good. The lady that's partially made this all happen. The lady called Charlene. Is it Desiree?
Yes, Charlene Desiree.
Charlene Desiree. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the... Acknowledge this lady. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good. How are you?
I am blessed, man. I am blessed. Now we come on to the guest of honor. Good friend of the program. He's been on the show before. You know what I mean? Last time it was me, the lady Only D, and this guy. At the time, the album wasn't out yet. But we're here, we're back again because the album is out in the company of others. I implore you people to check that out if you haven't checked it already. We're going to talk about it. Acknowledge this man. Big O, welcome.
What's up? Thank you so much for having me here.
Man, that's blessed. It's a celebration, man. We're celebrating on multiple levels.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? On that note, you got your chosen beverages there. We are sponsored by Got the Juice. Who got the juice now? You know what I mean? So I'm not a drinker. You guys, you get your drink on.
Me either.
So I'm gonna get my juice right now. You know what I mean? No messing about. You know what I mean? Before we even get into your album, there's a few things that we need to announce at time of recording this podcast right here. Special show. I mean, you got your juice, you got your drinks there. You want to top that up?
You want to top that up?
You want to top it up? You want the juice?
Yeah, I'm sweating here, but yeah.
You're sweating already? Yeah, sweat already.
Yeah.
That's good. Enough?
Yeah, thanks.
All right. You're topping up, Charlene?
A little bit.
A little bit. All right, cool. I also want to take this time to make a toast. You know what I mean? Not just the Company of Others album that we're celebrating today, but we're also celebrating two other things at the time of recording this. This is Hip Hop 50. We're still celebrating 50 years of hip hop. And the founder, Kool Herc, DJ Kool Herc, has just been he's just been entered into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Raise your glasses for DJ Kool Herc, people. He started.
Well deserved.
DJ Kool Herc. DJ Kool Herc, you did this. All right, you did this. Also, I want to shout out the lady called Missy Elliott. Remember we spoke about Missy Elliott on the show before, remember?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Missy Elliott, the first hip-hop lady to be entered, also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Another well-deserved one.
Well-deserved. Once again, glasses for Missy Elliott. That's what's up, man.
Glasses and bottles.
We're celebrating. Or you could be on the internet complaining about, oh, why are we in the Hall of Fame? Why the Rock and Roll? They should make our own. We should make the hip hop. To me, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It's an honor, man. And on the 50th anniversary, come on, man.
Especially somebody like Missy. I mean, she's so innovative. And she was doing things that, you just wouldn't believe, from doing music videos and these big trash bags, and, doing like crazy, dances and just stuff that you wouldn't really see anybody do at the time. Like between her and Busta, they was just out there doing it. So I'm glad to see, you know, she is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She definitely deserved that.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. And the fact that, you know, I remember Busta Rhymes was questioned about, it's like even doing a verse with it, and even he says, nah, there's like, she Busta Rhymes, he Missy Elliott, he Busta Rhymes, she Missy Elliott, they're one and the same. It's like, it can't do it, it can't do it. So all those who wanted that Missy Elliott, Busta Rhymes match-up on verses, well, we haven't had a verses in time. I don't think
we don't need one. To be honest with you, I mean, we can go outside now.
Yeah, we're here now.
We can touch grass. Everything is all right now. It was great during the pandemic. Everything was wonderful. You know, they kept us entertained. I'm never gonna be, you know, not grateful for what they did. So, but I mean, right now, if they want to do a versus, they can take that shit to like a stadium or a arena and go from there. Turn it into a big concert. We don't really need it online no more. We can go outside. We need to go outside, you know, and just.
Yeah, we've been going outside.
Oh yeah, we've been going outside for a while now. But you know, we don't really need verses to be online anymore.
True indeed, man. So let's get to the matter at hand. In the Company of Others album, it dropped September 1st.
Yes.
What a day that was,
Man. That I'm still, believe it or not, I'm still buzzing from that. We in November right now, but you know the reception that I got from the album, people telling me that, you know, it's groundbreaking and you know, calling it a masterpiece. That means a lot to me because I've been working on this shit since 2018, and you know it went through a lot of changes. And it needed to go through those changes. I used to be upset that
a big long 6 year long story, right?
Yeah, 6 year long story, and I was supposed to have like a certain group, won't say their names or anything like that, made amends with them. It's all good.
Right.
They were supposed to have been on the album, but then, you know, politics and the jerking around happened. I'm glad that happened, to be honest with you, because you know that gave me more drive to put into this album, and y'all got what y'all got, and you know I couldn't be any happier.
Trust me. Everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
You had to go through that, and yeah, as you say, it made you more determined and thought, oh, okay, well, it's not gonna come out like this, but it's not gonna come out like that. I'm gonna bring it out like this.
Exactly.
So you know, some of the tunes that did some of the tracks that were already created at that time. Did you go back and think, I might be able to improve some of these or make them sound even better than they already are?
You know, the funny thing is, it's funny you said that because my core artist that I worked with, who was down to do the album with me from jump, they recorded songs for the album. But since I ended up getting upset with everything that was going on, 2018 was a horrible year musically for me because, you know, I almost got blackballed in the industry because I questioned a certain media personalities.
Which we will not acknowledge yet.
We won't acknowledge anything, you know, she put out. I don't even pay attention to it. But when all of that happened, I was, you know, just feeling bad about it. Now, records like Good Company with me and P-Rob, that was originally supposed to have been on the album. Isolated with me, Lou, and Franiel, that was supposed to have been on the album. And since it got pushed back and I put it on the shelf, Good Company ended up being on me and P-Rob's album, The Complexity. Which I'm glad it did because it fit so well on that project that we was working on, and a lot of people loved that record. Isolated was supposed to have been on In the Company of Others, but it ended up on my EP, Now You See Me, and that ended up becoming a fan favorite. And that album, that record actually, it pulled the Lou back into making music again. Because after our album, The South Side of Things, he was ready to just say, no, I'm good. But after the reception we got from just that record alone, and it was getting plays in Chicago, and a lot of people was like, oh, we need to hear something else from you. That pulled him back. So that particular song will always have a special place in my heart because it pulled my homie back and to making music again.
Wow.
But those records were supposed to have been on In the Company of Others, and the original theme of it was going to be 16 tracks, but one half was going to be some artists, on it, and the other half was just going to be instrumentals. But since everything, changes over time, I was thinking to myself while putting this album together, I was like, every time I hear a producer-based album, that shit just sounds like a glorified playlist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, DJ Khaled or, a DJ Drama, and I respect these guys.
DJ Khaled.
No, let's not pronounce his name in this room.
Yeah.
Oh!
Not DJ Khaled, please. Not this.
I respect those guys, especially Drama. Like, I'm from down south. The Gangsta Grill era, I was outside during that shit.
I can imagine.
But when, certain, DJs and producers, when they put these albums together, it's like there's no thought into it. They just take, a bunch of beats and a bunch of artists and just let them do whatever they want. And I think that's a problem that's going on in the current state of hip-hop right now. You got a lot of these guys, they don't know how to be produced. They just know how to say whatever the hell they want to say on a record. Whereas with the album that I put out, I had 26 different artists. I had to tell them, listen, this album it has a concept. This album has a theme. Please follow this theme. Please follow this concept. And if you don't do it, I get on my Trump shit and be like, you fired. And I had to fire some artists off the album who was supposed to have been on it because, I told them, hey, this record is supposed to be about a certain subject. And one of the dudes, it was just like, oh, fuck him. I'm going to do whatever I want. Hey, I'm the wrong person to do that to. I had to tell his artist, not his artist, but his manager, I was like, hey, you're going to have to break the news to that guy. Because with me, when I work with somebody, I don't want to just give you a beat and be like, do whatever you want. I want to develop some type of,
You want some real shit on there, yeah.
With you, so you can actually, I can pull something out of you, and you can give me your best.
Right.
See
it there?
Yeah, not this.
Yeah, not just
dropping some shit.
I was gonna say not this shit that you get now.
Exactly, like and I think that's what's just messing a lot of things up. Like, you can't just. We're producers. That gotta mean something. You know what I mean?
You put in the creative direction behind. It's not
exactly.
just
It's not just I'm giving you beats and you do whatever you want. That's a programmer. Like, now I'm gonna have to get technical with it. Like, beat making, that's programming. Like, you program the beats, you give it to somebody, you just go from there.
It's engineering.
Exactly, that's a part of it. Like, as soon as you're done with it, you mix down the vocals and the beat and all of that there, but you got to tell these people what pockets they have to be in. Structure the song for them. Now, there's some artists I ain't even got to do that with. Like my homie P-Rob, he knows, but he's professional, and since we've been working with each other for years, he knows, like how my beats are structured. He knows, but Lou, he's another one. He knows song structure. So sometimes I ain't even really got to tell him anything. Loki Loco, he's the same way. He knows song structures. Other people who I see when they work with them, I can tell that they just sent over a bunch of beats and said, hey, do your thing on them. And there's no communication with each other. And it seemed like it's just a money grab. Ain't no love in it.
Passion.
No love or passion in making these type of tracks.
I've got a question for you. So you feel like you almost had a team behind you that was like something. It wasn't just dropping shit. You feel like that it was like you were like an orchestra, a maestro, like putting that team together for your album.
Exactly. That's what it felt like, especially with all of these artists that was on, in the company of others. And we could be here all day if I shot them out individually, but everybody on that album, they just delivered. They listened. They understood. They understood the assignment, and they really came through for me. And I love working with each and every last one of them. And it's not the last time you're gonna hear me work with a lot of those artists. As a matter of fact, I got some projects coming out next year.
Exclusive. You're not done yet. You're not done.
I am far from done. Anybody who put out like a project like that, they just want to sit down somewhere. I got too much hunger in me, man.
Yes.
You know? So, I'll probably talk about that later on in the show. But yeah, I do got 3 important projects coming out.
3.
Fantastic.
Oui. That's great.
Yeah. All right. Then let's talk about personal highlights of this album, man. Let's start with you, Harris the Legacy. You've heard that album. Is there particular tracks on it that stick out in your head that you can say, that you might want to ask me go of how it all came about?
I can't remember exactly the title of the song, but I think I spoke to you about it.
You spoke to me about it.
Yeah.
I know the song you're thinking about. You
I know already.
Generational curses.
Yeah.
Woo!
That one there.
Generational
That's the
curses.
name that I sent you.
I break curses and verses. Lately I've been seeking purpose. I'm on a slight curve, I'm well-rounded like cursive. I had to break the reins of the mental chain gang. It's strange how they still make us feel the same pain. Then tell us to get over it, like what about them gangs up in your neighborhood? Look, all you niggas want the same thing, it's power. Even better when black, don't be testing my power. It might come with a strap, and ain't no taking it back.
And that's the link I've put on my stories. I spammed you with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this on my story.
So many people was
That one.
asking me about that.
Resonates.
That verse.
Yeah, the verse that he said on there was crazy. But you know what? Those guys are special. They really are. They represent Austin, and we're working together again. Exclusive. There you go. So, they're working on a project right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt honored that they hit me up to ask for some beats for their upcoming album. But the record is like, they're another one where I don't have to, be like, hey, be right here or do this. They're a duo. They play off each other so beautifully. Like, they'll do like
Hook.
8 bars here, and then the other dude will come in to do another 8 bars, and then they'll split it up.
Yeah.
The other dude will do 4, and then he'll do another 4. It's like that's creativity right there. Like, you guys they play off each other so well, even on the hook. And I was like, and one of them when he was like, I feel every single night, black women deserve better black men. Treat them right. And
That's the verse.
Yeah,
That's the verse.
Approved.
That's the verse.
He was going off on that, and like it's his wordplay, and they're brilliant. They're brilliant artists.
Generational curses, man. Do you think there's like, I mean, as far as that track, curses that still exist now that were back then?
Yeah.
Especially in music?
The whole point of that record was basically like breaking the trauma that you grew up in, like things that you think is normal. But once you grow up and you look back on it, especially us 80s babies, we look back on that shit and be like, well, I'm sorry.
I'm a Gen Z, you guys.
Oh dear.
I am not involved in this 80s situation.
She says it like it's an insult as well.
I'm a Gen Z, very much 100% Gen Z.
Like, when we growing up, our parents instilled the things that they went through growing up, thinking that that's normal. But with us, I like to call the 80s generation, we're like the lost generation, because we're in between technology and not having technology. And we also figured out a lot of things along the way. So with generational curses, it's like unlearning the shit that we had to go through and making a better way for not just your kids, but also yourself. So just breaking those traumatic generations and building something new. So that's like the whole point of generational curses.
All right, cool. Charlene, have you got a Was that the same highlight for you on that album, Generational Curses, or there was another one?
Yeah, so I wanted to share Generational Curses because I shared it with my mom, and you know what happened this year with my family. So it resonated to me, but it wasn't just a shout out to this track. It's just you in general. I feel like you go deep and you go into emotions in an industry that, like, obviously for men, obviously for black men in specifically, that are not allowed to show that vulnerability.
Yeah.
But it's still rough, it's still sexy, it still come out great. But that's what I really loved about this album. I wanted to tell you. But that track specifically, it helped me through really tough times. And it's a song that I shared with my mom, that I shared with my aunt before she passed away. That's a song that I feel you. Like, I feel the energy, the emotions that you put in your work. So I really wanted to give a shout out for that.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And I'm glad that you shared it with your family. That means a lot to me as well. So, you know, it's like little things like that. It makes me keep going. You know what I mean?
Word. So you probably already know about my personal highlight.
I think that's the world personal highlight right now, man.
Hang on, which one we probably talking, because there's two in particular.
Yeah.
There's two in particular. Which is the one you was thinking of?
Seasonal People.
Oh, I'm thinking of the other one right now.
You're thinking of
The Vantage Point of View.
Dearest, if I could tell you the way I feel, the doubt in there without the words that I'm saying are real. I understand why they call the black woman Earth. The same women pick a man like me from deep about the dirt. One time you sat me down and told me wipe your eyes. They almost broke me. You said broken people tend to lie. Remember who you are, sunshine regardless. Block them out and keep your head high when they come with far.
That's mine too. That's mine too.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. If there's one nitpick that I could say about it, or maybe because this is your vision, you know what I mean? This is your head and everything, right? So you could disagree if you want, but Vantage Point of View, I'm not so sure if it was placed in the right place on the album in terms of sequencing. Yeah, that to me is more of a last trackish kind of vibe. That's what I got out of it.
But see, the reason I don't disagree with it, but the reason why I put it fourth is because that was the end of Act 1. So that's why it's at track 4. Because that's the end of Act 1.
4, 8, 12, 16.
Yeah.
They're
got it. Ending different acts in it. Because this album is broken up into 3 different acts.
Right.
So that's why it ended up on track 4. Because that's the end of Act 1.
It all makes sense now. When you, because Generational Curses was in that one as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
right.
part of Act 1. Yeah. With Vantage Point of View. And the craziest thing is I don't have the greatest relationship with my mom. That's no secret. However, I still wanted, guys and, girls who have that great relationship with their moms, just speak to them.
Yes.
And my favorite verse on that, first of all, each and every last one of those guys, they did their thing. But Neek Robinson, he got me on that one, because when he was like, I like to reminisce about all the good times, the good vibes. On rainy days, you still make your sun shine. That right there, I was like, yo, this man is special right now. And I wanted this track to be like really, really cinematic. So what I did was I hired this guy to play the keys at the very end of it, and I was like, yeah, that sounds nice, but I'm not done yet. So I hired a choir at the end of it, just to elevate the track even more, because I wanted Act 1 to be like really, really special, because that was more like, breaking curses and appreciating your family, whereas Act 2 is about getting rid of toxic relationships, friendships, family members. If you gotta cut them off, that's all of Act 2. And Act 3 is basically just owning who you are. You used to hustle, own that shit. You're in a better place right now. You went through darkness, now you out in the light. Appreciate this. That's Act 3. You just owning and accepting who you are. And the thing is, you'll get a concept album like that with an actual rapper. You don't get concepts like that with a producer. You don't get a concept like that with a DJ-based album.
The storytelling.
Exactly.
But you mentioned, like, I know about you because you're my friend, but I know you love Marvel, Star Wars, all of that.
Yeah.
So it felt more like, compared to your previous work, it felt like the storytelling was more there. It was like, this is my story. This is the journey I went through, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So now, Michael, it makes sense, the order of the songs.
Yeah, see,
That you were
absolutely, it does
shading
now.
a little bit. It makes sense
does,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, I wanted that to just close out the acts. Like with Vantage Point of View closing out Act 1 and Green with Envy closing out Act 2. Shout out to Main Soul and Dankery Harv. They closed out Act 2. It's like, and that's why I put the sample at the end of it all. It's like, yeah, you green with Envy, but you know what? I'm still where I am, and I still love you. So that's what explains the sample at the end where it says, I really, really love you. And it was saying that over and over. It's like, I may not want you in my life, but I still got love for you. I want you to grow, just not with me.
Right, yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that on the internet, like something similar, like, yo, I want you to win, but not at my table, not at this table right here.
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
drinks and all the
Yes, I
champagne.
love you, but from afar. Like,
Yeah,
you think,
that's
yes,
basically
yes.
what it is.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I don't have any hate in my heart. You know, you could be green with Envy all you want. I'm happy. I'm in a good place. You know, I still love you, but
From a
way
distance,
over there.
yes.
You know, so it's those little things in the album that really just make it shine more. And I love that so many people are actually picking up on that, especially with me being an indie artist. You know, they're saying, "Oh man, I'm just now understanding this reference that so and so said on this song. Now I understand the order of the records. The more I listen to it, you know, things of that nature. So it just makes me happy."
Man, that's marvelous right there, man. In the company of others albums out there right now, wherever you can stream music, is there physical copies for this?
I'm trying to do physical copies, but see, I don't want to do CDs or tapes because
Vinyl.
That's what I'm.
I know.
Give me that vinyl, man. Give me that vinyl.
Vinyl.
Yo, let me work on that because I want this to be. I had a lot of people asking me about vinyls for this record.
Vinyls is back in.
It's back in, and you know, I don't care if you just have that shit just framed in your room. I don't care if you want the vinyl. Let me work on trying to get that shit going.
We will be waiting for you.
I know
the
now
fans been waiting for that.
I got pressure now.
Give me that vinyl, man.
Give me the vinyl. Break yourself.
Give me that vinyl, man.
Yeah.
Give me that vinyl.
What you got in my drink?
We didn't even get started yet.
Give me that vinyl, man.
At that time, yeah, that time then, because earlier, not long ago in the interview, or podcast, you says that there's so many people to shout out. You know what I mean? By the time you're done, it will be Friday, so you can put it in the vinyl.
The thing is, that's what I miss. I miss that on like physical copies.
Yeah,
I miss
that's
all
what
that.
I used to do. Every time I bought a tape, or every time I bought a CD. You know what I used to do? Look at the credits.
Who produced what?
Produced
Yes, yeah. That's what I miss.
Where the studio it was recorded at.
Yeah.
Sample.
Yeah.
Yes. The samples, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you something. The album that got me started into doing what I want to do right now is 2001. That album, that's the album that got me started because I remember when I tricked my mama's friend to buying me the dirty version. And she didn't know the difference between the clean and
with the
parental advisory.
Yeah.
She didn't know. And I remember when I tricked her into getting, like, she already paid for it, and she took it and she started reading the back of it. And at the time, it was tape. And I don't know if y'all remember this skit on there. It's called Pause for Porno. And she was reading it. She was like, what's this? And I was like, huh? And then she
Now I understand why. I understand why I had to pay for that. Now
She picked up the tape.
I recall that skit.
I remember that skit too.
come on, you guys, come on.
So, family show.
She was reading it, and I don't know if y'all remember a.
Well, we don't remember, but we know you remember.
Oh yeah, but
Next to the steel business, man.
I'm gonna remind everybody every time Dr. Dre was producing records back in the day, when you bought the albums and you looked at the credits, it'll say it ain't nothing but fucking music.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Right.
So when she was looking at the tape and she said, "Pause for porno," she said, "But that's sex." And I just hit her with the tagline, "It ain't nothing but music."
Well, technically it was.
It was. So I hit her with the same tagline. She couldn't say nothing. She gave me the tape. Back it was a Christmas present. But the song that made me start making beats was the next episode.
Wow.
When I heard that record.
Imagine.
And I remember I was riding in the car with my mom, and they played the clean version on the radio. It was like back in the day. I think they still do it, but I haven't heard it in a long time. But every Friday at 10 o'clock, it'll be like a hot ass mix going on from 10 to. So you remember that, right? From 10 at night to 2 o'clock in the morning, Friday and Saturday. You wait
for that
exclusive song, and they ended up playing the next episode. But I already knew about the next episode, but it was just a feeling listening to it in the mix. And when that shit just started knocking in the car, I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Man.
And it just opened up something.
Who would have thought that the next episode had even more story to it?
Man.
You know what I mean? That's got a story in itself. That started all the way from Nothing But a G. It is Nothing But a G thing, ain't it? I'm sure it's that one. So let's chill until the next episode. So now we were looking for the next episode, clean from that year, from 92, 93 when it dropped.
92?
Yeah, and then to find out, when we find out later on that the next episode nearly didn't happen.
Yeah.
And that went big, though.
That went big. And there was I think the composer of it, ain't he on like NCIS now or some TV show like that?
Answers on a postcard, please.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he granted the rights or something like that. I'm just going by what I read recently, and that's how the next episode happened for 2001.
Wow.
Yeah, because the article just came out about it. Like, this song is still generating buzz and all of that there. You got to think, this came out in 99.
The legacy.
Yeah.
But that's my question for you, though, because I don't have that. Like, if there is, for example, one of my favorite rapper at the moment is Black Swimmer, a UK rapper, and I just go on his page and I just got the music and I listened to it. But at the time, you guys had, like, the build-up, like, the connection. You felt excited about it. I don't feel that. I'm just like, I click and I have the music. But do you have any rappers at the moment where you feel that connection? Even though you don't have that special 90s feeling. You don't have that anymore.
Well, I mean, that's a good-ass question. Because a lot of everything is so microwavable right now. Like, it just comes out. But, I mean, everybody just got access to just drop whenever they want. It's like no real build-up. I mean, it's one build-up for me. Everybody in this room may disagree with me, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I love the build up to it. Donda was a huge build up for me simply because of the stadium listening parties. One, we're never gonna get anything like that again.
True.
And the
posters.
The posters.
You used to have the posters when it's dropping out. And that.
Yeah. And the fact that he was in our Mercedes-Benz stadium in Atlanta, living in there, just, building up everything. And, from the music itself, he wanted to do something different. Between that and Call Me When You Get Lost, I was so invested in both of those albums' rollouts. We're never going to see anything like that again. That was in 2021. Everybody else now, they want to do surprise drops Man, you ain't Beyonce, you can't do that.
But she started all of this.
And she started
all of this.
that in 2013.
Yeah, now
when she
everyone-
just dropped, and now everybody
everyone's
just
dropping.
wanna, you know, do that. And it's like, man, y'all ain't got it like that. The only
Right.
person that I know that can do a surprise drop, and he ain't gonna do a surprise drop, is either Kanye or and Drake can't do a surprise drop anymore. I don't even like him.
Oh
People
man.
talk too much.
So that's two that we don't do over here. We don't do on RePPin4U anyway. We don't do Drake and we don't do DJ
Khaled.
Oh, let's not talk about this guy in
No,
this
we're
room.
not
That's-
going to. We ain't got to that. I've only got like a 2-hour show. You know what I mean? And half of that show, I got to showcase new music anyway. You get me? You know, we've done that already. You know what I mean? I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
Unless Jay-Z's gonna do like a free 30-minute verse on it or something. I don't know.
But
You know?
see, even then, that can't get me to listen to, you know, one of his albums, because I don't like the music that he put out. It ain't but one song that I really enjoy from this man.
I can't
That's
stand
because,
that guy.
It's because of Just
can't.
Blaze. That's it.
So no. So, like I said, we only got like it's very limited in time. You see me? You know what I mean? And I love it up in here, man. You probably will see me in here again in the near future. But
see me again.
I need to address something here, right? You know what I mean? We talked about Dr. Dre's 2001 that actually dropped in 99. You know where I'm going with this. And I spoke about this off the grid. And this all started, it started at the Hip Hop 50 at Kentish Town with with Big Daddy Kane, Master Ace Marco Polo, Guilty Simpson, Elzai, Fat Cats,
Yep.
you know what I mean, etc., etc. All right. No, we're not going to talk about that. We ain't got the sort of time, and plus, that's too old. But, yeah, I said it. But, we were there.
Yes, we
And
were.
the Shorty Blitz, we were there. However,
On the gate.
that's right.
Holding.
Holding
Yes.
up.
Now,
Holding
on.
up.
let me just set the stage. Let me just set the story right here. Shorty Blitz was on the mic. I'm sure it was Shorty Blitz anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's on the mic, and he asks everyone in the audience. Yeah, he's like, make noise if you love 80s hip hop. Yay! All right, no problem. Make noise if you.
I know where this is going.
Yeah. Make noise if you like 90s hip hop. Hey! Standard. All right. So far, so good. This is where it gets interesting. Make some noise if you like 2000s hip hop. Yeah. Boo.
Kind of.
Boo.
That pissed me off.
Now, I looked at Big O like.
What is going
Yeah,
on?
Big O looked at me like.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Now, last time I checked, Jay Dilla saved our lives, right?
Yeah.
And Jay Dilla, in my personal mind, hit his stride in the 2000s,
Absolutely.
right? So that brings me to this. I want to make this point that the 2000s era of hip-hop was just as great as the 90s and even the 80s.
Damn right it
I'm
was,
going
man.
there.
I'm
Yes,
going
I'm going
there
there on World One Radio. I'm
I
going
don't know
there on
about that.
RePPin4U Hip Hop
No.
Show.
That comes from a Gen Z. I don't want to do like this whole war between the 90s and the 2000s. But
It's
I
not-
feel like we don't have the point of view yet. Let it simmer for another 10 years and go back to it.
No,
In
I
10
think-
years,
I think the
let it
time's
simmer.
now.
Let it cook.
I think
Let
the
it
time-
cook. We don't feel it yet. So you have a point on that. For the 2000s, we don't feel it yet because there is this nostalgia for the 90s because it was a hot minute ago. So that's why you feel so intense about it. That's the reason.
She's good.
No, but that's true though.
Yep.
That's why you still have this competition, but let it cook. In 10 years, the 2000s will feel like this good team balance, give it to me kind of
I'm on
vibe.
both, but I
But
think
it's-
Yes,
it's
so
safe.
I'm
But
on
it's
both
been-
sides for that.
Right.
It's been cooking for 23 years now.
True.
Let's-
You go me on that one.
It's been cooking for 23 years now. Like, I'm not going to sit here and shit on 2000s hip hop and not acknowledge that the first Blueprint came out in 2001. I'm not going to shit on it where little brother came out.
Jeez, that's so
The
mercy.
listening. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this? And then they turned around 2 years later and dropped the minstrel show on our heads.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and just shit on the 2000s hip hop where Rockefeller was one of the biggest
It was.
empires.
Oh!
in
Might
the
trigger some people,
2000s.
but that's the truth.
Big O's going off right now.
No.
Let him cook.
Like, we're not gonna do this where my favorite group of all time, Outkast, dropped "Stank on Ya," which changed the whole scope of 2000s hip hop. Right now, if it wasn't for "Stank on Ya," we wouldn't have "To Pimp a Butterfly." I'm taking it there.
Right. So I'm gonna. So here what now? I'm gonna bring the direction to this side here.
Okay.
Harris and Legacy. I see that you've prepared this.
I had to because I was up most of the night going through it. Yeah, and I was just like,
Right.
yeah.
So here what now? Right. For everyone who's watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, by the way. I was meant to say that at the beginning, but say it now. Right. Leave comment, all that good stuff. Right. Right here and now. You got what looks like 5 albums that mean the most to you, or your favorite albums that came out between 2000 and 2009. Hit us with it. What you got?
Alright, so I got the first one. I was pumping this every single day when it come out. So Ghostface, Killer, Spring Clientele.
Okay.
Ah,
All right.
you know what? We
All
can
right.
end. We can end it.
All right.
We
That's
can end
the
the debate
sexy
right
one.
now. We can end the debate right now.
Second one,
Oh, it's over.
I was going through a lot when this album come out, and I always played it all the time. Lupe Fiasco, The Cool.
Yes.
Oh, Lupe Fiasco.
Cool.
Oh,
I
you know
miss
what? I
him.
remember the last time when we talked about. I remember the last time you was on the show. And I remember running it back recently, and you did mention your
Dream collaboration.
frustration, but the frustration with like how Lupe Fiasco is, perceived right now.
Yeah,
Crazy
that
still
frustrates
chilling.
the hell out of me because this man is an alien MC. Like it's still albums that he dropped that I'm catching the references on. You know what I mean? And for people not to put this man in these categories, that frustrates the hell out of me.
Wow. Are we talking Lupe Fiasco, Jill Scott, Daydreams?
Yeah,
That's my bedroom song. I love that song.
Hey!
It's sexy as fuck.
Right.
I love it.
That's
song
a
is incredible.
beautiful-
This track
Yeah,
is
can't lie,
incredible.
yeah.
But like
Daydream.
with Lupe, like I got a lot of favorite Lupe albums, but I think my favorite Lupe song of all time is Gold Watch from the Kool.
See, I think my favorite album of all time of his Hip Hop Saved My Life.
That's a beautiful record. And when I found out that it was pretty much dedicated to Slim Thug, I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Wow,
Man.
and to keep going.
Alright, next one. This one. I just remember when the beef was going off where I was living at the time with my ex-girlfriend. Everyone was just playing this non-stop. So Nas, Stillmatic.
Oh, yeah.
Ether.
Come on!
Yeah.
It was
Come
just
on!
playing constantly on my block bit.
Yeah.
It was just going off.
Yeah.
Come on! I got stories about that one, man.
Let's hear it.
It's just a quick one. I can't. If it wasn't you, I mentioned to you on the show before. It was somebody. It was definitely somebody else, another guest on RePPiN4U, where there'd be a group of us guys, and we'd come together in town. Could be in the day, night, whatever, right? And there's always one guy in the group. You know what I mean? Yeah, Blueprint. Jay-Z, yeah. And then you'll have someone else in the group, you know what I mean? It's all fun. They'll turn around to him and goes, Jay-Z. Jay-Z. You know what I mean? And they go, no, man. No, take over. You know what I mean? And then they go line for line in town. We're walking around in town like,
man.
use your voice. He's using it wrong. I made it hot line. You made it hot. All that kind of thing. Having the biggest rap's gonna come out your fat lips.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's going back and forth.
We was on that. We was on that shit in the 7th grade. when Blueprint and Stillmatic came out, we had those conversations. But I'm gonna tell you something. When 2003, 2004 hit, I remember in the lunchroom table, we used to talk about who had the best empire in the 2000s, and I was riding hard for Rockefeller. It's been time. I was riding hard
Rockefeller
because they was putting out a lot of quality at the time between, I want to say, 2000 and 2005. That time stretch of it, because you got to think about who all came out. You got the Dynasty, then you had the Blueprint, then you had Philadelphia Freeway, then you had
Young Guns in it.
That's all right.
Who?
Young Guns.
Yeah.
You had College Dropout and Late Registration.
Behave.
Then you had State Property came out with Chain Gang. Then you had Beanie Siegel with The Truth, Beanie Siegel with The Reason.
Ow!
And Beanie Siegel with
Goosebumps right now, man. Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Talk about Beanie Siegel, The Reason.
With The Becoming, like 2000.
Oh,
yeah, see, that's why
God
I used to go upside people's heads with Rockefeller had the biggest empire in the early to mid 2000s.
They did.
But sorry to go. On
So
that
what was
tangent.
the transition with today, with my generation? What was the problem? Okay, so let's say Pusha T happens.
Yeah.
Then after, what happened? What changed? What are you not vibing with today? Why are you grumpy about it?
Well, me.
Okay, boomer.
Grump.
I don't consider myself grumpy like that. You know what I mean? I don't consider myself grumpy. And the ironic thing about Pusha T's, you know, that Daytona, that came out at a time when everyone was clowning Kanye West for his actions and that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Daytona comes out, everyone's praising Daytona. And at the time, I had to pull him up and say, come over here. Come now, Yanni. Come. I just want to talk to you. Kanye West produced all that, you know.
Yeah.
No, fuck Kanye West.
Yeah.
No. You can't say that. You're loving.
Yeah.
You're loving. If you know, you know, and all them tune there, right?
You know how many times I put that shit in my stories. every time, like my story. Let me tell you. My stories are crazy.
True.
But bro,
Very offensive sometimes. We love it.
but every time I see something that I recall from the past, or something that happened like just recently, I gotta play. If you know, you know. If you understand the reference, you know where this shit is going.
True.
But that's my go-to song on bringing back, you know, certain events.
No.
And then you move further into the 2000s. So then after that point of Pusha T, we get into Kendrick Lamar. So
Oh yeah, so I can talk about that.
I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan.
too.
So then
Yeah.
we get to that point. How you feel about that?
Kendrick Lamar, that man can do nothing wrong. I feel that Kendrick Lamar, you know what I mean?
Pin the Butterflies classic, sorry.
Yes. Talk to him, man. Talk to him. My thing, because that Butterfly album, for one,
Oh,
people don't
Butterfly.
clock it until, because I didn't clock it because how clever it was. I didn't clock it until the end. That all that time he was having what you call a conversation with Pac. Sorry, Jada, but he did, right? Jada's going, shut up. Kendrick Lamar had the conversation, okay?
Yeah.
Right? And the way it was constructed for that concept.
Yes.
Right, concept. Incredible, man. Incredible. Then he goes on to direct or produce the whole Black Panther. So
yeah.
when he did that track with is it SZA?
Sizzler.
Yeah, SZA, right?
SZA.
Yeah.
And that got me.
Shout out to Caesar. Yeah.
My thing with that was, my thing with that was, you know what I mean? You're getting hyped for a film. When was the last time, for me personally, the last time I got hyped for a film going by its soundtrack was in the 90s, man?
Yeah.
Above the
And
rim.
Kendrick brought that
It was
back.
a great
So
soundtrack,
when
yeah.
all the stars come out, I was like, guys, we gotta see Black Panther now.
Yeah.
We gotta see. So we're on the way to see Black Panther, and that tune's in my head constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
All the stars. That's a beautiful record.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's a
Shame about Black Panther too.
Yeah.
That's another podcast.
Let's not talk about that here. We don't talk about DJ Khaled. We don't talk about Black Panther 2.
Let me get this off my chest first. I knew the movie was gonna be mediocre after I heard the soundtrack. After I heard the soundtrack, I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna be a good movie. The soundtrack just it didn't have that punch. No pun intended. No pun intended. But it just didn't have that punch. And when the soundtrack didn't deliver, hell, even Rihanna's song, and everybody was waiting for her to come back. That
For me, the Burna Boy track got me more than the Rihanna was like.
Can't stand him too. Yeah.
Again, that's another thing. Like I said, that's another podcast waiting to happen. I guess. You know what I mean? We digress. You know what I mean? And we gotta get to your number 4 or number 5.
Right.
But just before you do, I just want to point out that Kendrick. He came to put a butterfly. Then he come with the next one named Damn, and that one was good. And then
I didn't like Damn.
What? I'm gonna tell you. And then he didn't like Damn. But what about
Mr. Morale?
Nah, well, not the stop. Nah. It's is it Duckworth?
That's on Damn.
Yeah. Ninth Wonder. Don't start me.
Yeah.
Don't start me on Ninth, please. Please.
I'm gonna tell you something else before we get to
Spice
that.
Adams went off.
He did. I saw all those memes. He did. He went the fuck off.
Spice Adams was like this, man. He went. And then he went like this.
I'm gonna tell you something about Damn and To Pimp a Butterfly. Everybody was calling To Pimp a Butterfly very complex and everything. I'm from that environment. I knew that shit from day one. I think the reason why people was calling it so complex and everything was the production.
It's more darker.
Not so much dark. Damn,
His
it's
lyrics.
dark.
Nah, I thought Pinky Butterfly was more darker.
It wasn't dark to me at all because I come from that environment. I knew exactly what he was talking about. It's like he was talking to me. I think why people call it so complex was because of the jazz infusion production on it. That was probably the complexity to people on their ears. However, with Damn, the production on it, strong as fuck, very punchy, very modern, but the lyrics was going over my head. To the simple point of fact, I'm not religious, and I'm not a religious person. So since I'm an agnostic,
right,
not an atheist.
There's one track.
I always have to correct people on that.
There's one track that was good. I think it's called Feel. That's my personal favorite.
Feel is beautiful.
Yeah,
on
that's how I feel.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
But like with Fear, and Alchemist produced that shit. And he was talking about the first track. I mean, the first verse about he was talking about his mama beating his ass and all of that. That was a tough record. And like when I was listening to it, a lot of those references was going over my head because one, I'm not a religious person. I had to actually look up what he was going on. Whereas with To Pimp a Butterfly, I knew exactly what he was talking about. So with To Pimp a Butterfly, and I love it. It's not a complex album to me. Damn. On the other hand. I had to look a lot of that shit up.
Wow.
I had to look a lot of that up because, I had to look a lot of that up. I had to look up a lot with what he was talking about on Fear. Duckworth was one of the greatest hip-hop modern storytelling in the last decade. And with Mr. Morale, I'm going to move into that. I love that album.
That's my
so
album. That's my album.
I understand.
That's
I
my
understand
album.
why. I understand why. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The creativity behind that. You know what I mean? And then my favorite rapper of all time finds himself on the album. You know what I mean?
Ghostface. Yeah.
He had no choice. That's it.
The crazy thing is, y'all probably gonna crucify me on this one, but after listening to We Cry Together, I couldn't listen to.
That's my song.
I couldn't listen to what the song with Ghostface afterwards. I couldn't listen to it because after listening to We Cry Together And full disclaimer, I never went through any of that in any relationship. I never went through any of that.
Oh, man.
I just love the storytelling and I love the rawness of it. But after listening to that record, I couldn't go into the happiness. I want to stay on that dark path a little bit.
Oh.
So I went straight to Count Me Out.
That is my song. That is my song. That is my song. Damn.
I have to, and I'll listen. I like Summer Walker. I love Ghostface. I love that record. But after we cry together, I gotta go straight
deeper,
to
yeah.
And don't get me started on the joint with his cousin Baby Keem. Not the actual song, but when he's sitting on the couch talking to the therapist, and he was like, he said something about his dead uncle. He said, this year I had to come back and point out my uncle's casket. Something like that. That was like, oh, that's pain. And then it go Savior. That's the name, Savior. So from the interlude into Savior, I was like, man, this
Savior.
you can't tell me this man.
When he performed that live, that hits
hard.
That song.
See it there?
Yeah.
Was that your number 3 or number 4 pick?
That was 3, so number 4.
All right,
number 4. Jeez, I was a big fan of him till the last album come out. He was destroying everything. Game, documentary.
Oh yeah, man.
Classic.
Yes.
Classic.
don't start me, man.
Classic.
Selector.
I love
Dream.
Oh yeah, Dream.
The song with Faith Evans, that's my one.
Ah,
Oh, Faith
that's my
Evans, we miss
favorite
her.
That one.
I Don't Need Your
personal.
Love.
Yeah.
yes.
That's,
But the one with Mary J. Blige, Don't Worry, that had me.
See,
that had me.
That's a sweet one.
Yeah.
Is there many albums that's got Faith Evans and Mary J. Blige on the same album?
No, it's not. That's the thing.
That'd be another show because there is.
Oh,
there's
no, man.
It's
another show. I got a few of them at home.
Gosh.
Yeah.
The
Trust
game,
me.
the documentary. Was that your number 4? Number 5.
Number 5, best group of all time for me. I think me and you had a conversation about it before. Mobb Deep, America's Nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's profound.
Wow, what a pick.
Yeah.
The layers of that track. The profoundness.
What a pick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What a pick.
The one by Kanye West produced.
Throw your hands in the air, bro. Man, we gotta do top 5 producers on this podcast, please.
Yeah.
We'll see what time. What time you got? What time you got?
It's
I got
5:05.
4. Yeah.
No, 4:04. It's 4:04.
Oh shit, we run over.
Yes. Oh my God. It goes quick.
Oh
man.
Snap.
You ain't done your top.
All right, real quick. Charlene, if you got 5 albums, real quick.
5 albums, real quick. I won't have that because I would have 20 for you. Can we keep that for the next episode? Yes, we do because we want you guys to tune in again. So we reserve that.
I'll give you my 5 real quick. You know what I mean? You covered a few of them already. You know what I mean? Without Supreme Clientele.
Yep.
Yes. Go on.
Supreme Clientele, right? Little Brother, they're listening.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Behave yourself. Then, oh my days. Philadelphia Freeway.
Yeah, that's so slept
That
on.
album, it was only slept on because of Curtis, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Freeway or Diggity Day,
Yeah.
right? Freeway, Philadelphia Freeway. Number 4, Black Milk, Tinkartronic.
Yeah.
The whole reason why
Black
we're
Milk.
sitting here right now is because he's got a tune on there called "RePPiN4U."
Yeah.
That did it. It
Yeah.
all started.
How you went? I ain't done that.
Now, there you go.
We know.
And finally, number 5, The Shining by Dilla.
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
We know. Come on.
All right. For me, number 5, Mad Villain.
Yes, that will be on my list too.
Yeah. Number 4, I'm putting Quasimodo, The Unseen.
Yes.
Number 3, The Minstrel Show. Number
Just before you get to your number 2, just a quick one. I know Little Brother's looking to do a new documentary as well. You know what I mean? I'm looking out for that.
I'm looking forward to that too, especially when they drop these 2 singles.
Yes, Glory, and yeah. And Little Brother, whether you're listening or not, you know what I mean? That goes for you, Dankery Harv. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you guys even attempt to think about coming to the UK, we'll be there. Simple as that. Dankery Harv in particular, I've been trying to reach out for it for a minute, man. You know what I mean? I'm inviting that man to this show. You know what I mean? I'm inviting that man to RePPiN4U hip hop show. I've been trying to, try and get that, but keep it going.
Number 2, Late Registration. Late Registration.
Yes.
Wasn't expecting that one.
I'll tell you why I picked Late Registration over College Dropout. I love College Dropout with all my heart, but with Late Registration, it's the production. It's the fact that this man took this orchestrated sound, mixed it in with hip hop, and the sample choices that he made on there was crazy, like crack music.
Crack music.
Masterpiece.
La 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 la.
Voices on there was just crazy. And my number 1, I think everybody in here knew this was coming. Stink on You.
Yeah, there you go.
Stink on You.
There
You do
you go.
reference that one a lot, don't you?
Yeah, that changed the scope and set the ante of 2000s hip hop.
That is true.
That sonically, nobody
A new
expected
era.
that. Yeah, we entered a new era, and it was cool to be weird and think different. We had Stink on You come out, then you turn around, you have Mad Lib come out with Quasimodo with The Unseen, another beautifully weird album. Then on down the line, Kanye with not Late Registration, but with College Dropout, taking samples and bringing it back to the foresight. What he did with Blueprint. The first Blueprint. That's the only Blueprint I acknowledge, by the way. And then you have Mad Villain. Like it's like after Stink on You, it's cool to be weird and experiment with shit again.
Artsy vibes. Yes.
Yeah. Like I still wanna put on a mink coat and look in the mirror and play so fresh and so clean and just dance.
While it's raining, there's a storm outside.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was the album before that one? I was playing the other day.
What are you talking about?
Criminal.
Oh,
yeah,
Criminal.
it must be because I was thinking Atlians. I thought, no, I'm sure the one in between.
That was another crazy one. Like that, they're gonna always be my favorite duo of all time. It's the risk that they took with, their music, and it's still relevant to this day.
See it there.
Timeless music,
It's
isn't it?
so timeless.
Not this shit out today. Sorry, but
See, there you go. It's like right there off the bat. We just named 15 albums. With Kendrick Lamar as a bonus, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That came out in the 2000s. I say Kendrick Lamar as a bonus because he's more 2010s. But right there, we're just letting people know, say, yo, don't write off the 2000s.
Yeah, don't write it off.
No.
You know what I mean? But
I can do the same thing with the 2010s. I got 5 albums just right off the back from the 2010s that just blew my mind.
well, in that case, that's another.
We'll
have to run. That have to be like a 2024 episode of this, man. You have to do Knights of the Qube Table. Pop. You know what I mean? And all being well, all being well, fingers crossed. Hopefully, we can get my man. SDR213 up on the show as well, man. You know what I mean? Because that would be something right there, man. Man, we gotta close this out, man. The only way we could do it on World One Radio. So
Wu-Tang Clan rocks the world. Yo. One other thing, real quick, because we mentioned it top of the program, and that is simply put, Missy Elliott inducted into the Hall of Fame I mean, we raised our glasses to her and everything. Real quick, man, to honour her right now, we want to discuss our favourite track each from her. One track each from each of us. You know what I mean? Charlene, ladies first. Ladies first. If you got
speaking for all the ladies, and as cliche as it is, because it's her like top one, but Get Your Freak On. I'm sorry, because I know none of you, so I have to put it for the cliche one, because that's me. That song is just, it's a lot of girls' nights and things that I want to remember. But yeah, it's my favorite.
Boy,
girls' nights that I want to remember.
Get Your Freak On.
That's a classic record, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know what? I watched the sample on that, how it was
Come on.
broken down. I was like, what? How did Timberland do this? It's crazy. That's a great record. That's a great record.
You know what I mean? That got clubs bumping.
Oh, yeah.
And it brought cultures together, man. It was that period. Get Your Freak On came out. Timberland went back at it with Bubba Sparks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
Truth Hurts came out, friend of the program. With Addictive.
There was a lot of...
So them kind of tunes was coming out, and it brought cultures together, man. It was a fantastic time, man. Get Your Freak On, man. Big.
Great.
How is the legacy? Favorite Missy Elliott record?
Alright. I gotta go with this one because the beat's just crazy on this. Pass That Dutch.
Ooh,
Okay. All right.
Yo, that B-line drop.
Yeah.
Goosebumps right now. Goosebumps.
That just was wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pass That Dutch, man.
And she just rides the beat, that's it. But
Vicious, man.
Yeah.
Vicious.
Smooth.
Big O. Missy Elliott.
waiting for this one.
This record, I love it because of how she was singing on it. And I love the hook on it. My favorite record from Missy Elliott is Pussycat.
And I know the remedy just to cure him from cheating, even if...
Oh.
That shit was crazy. The way she wrote it, when the beat, when the octaves came in on the beat and her voice dropped an octave and she was singing on that shit. That's a fire ass record. They can't play it on the radio, but that's my favorite.
Yeah, you can play. You can't play it on the radio. You could probably play it on RePPiN4U Hip Hop Show.
Yeah.
If the opportunity came up.
I love that record. She doesn't rap on it until like the end, but nah, the way she was performing on that record, yeah, that's my favorite Missy Elliott record. Yeah. I love that record so much, from the instrumental, and so many people freestyle on that record. That's a crazy joint. I love it.
Fantastic. Finally, I think you may already know this one I'm about to drop. You may remember on the last interview, Big O, but She's a Bitch.
Oh man, that's a crazy record, man. The video alone is
She comes in on it.
The first time I heard that, the beat screamed Busta Rhymes to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was almost as if, for me, Timberland was creating it for Busta, and then Missy Elliott jumped in the studio and says, nah, that's mine.
Yeah.
That's mine, and that's how it's going. Timberland, shut up, top your nose. That's mine. And Timberland's like, all right. But that tune right there, for me, it's so iconic and classic that Lady Leisha had to run it back with Black Panther, with her version, and if you haven't heard that version, Lord have mercy. Why that did not make the soundtrack, I have no idea. It's criminal. Straight to Wakanda. It's like, ooh, behave.
I love that record. Honorable mention with her gonna always be Lose Control.
What? Yeah, man.
Lose Control. Yeah, that when that shit dropped, I listen to that at work, and when nobody know, nobody around.
I listen to this for my morning routine. It really it gets me into the day.
I don't blame you. When nobody is at work,
at the gym, it works everywhere.
I wish
in bed, everywhere. Sorry.
Well, that can work too. You can lose control in bed. I wish I could say Jim, but I mean, come on now, look at me. That shit is going on now. But no, Lose Control, that's hey, that'll get anything started, man.
Missy Elliott, take a bow.
Absolutely.
Salute.
Wu-Tang Clan rocks the world.
December 26th, brand new single from me and P. Rob's album coming. It's called Power Within, Searching, and it features Fashawn. Signed to an artist from Mass Appeal.
Wow.
He's on the album.
Big ups to Fashawn, friend of the program. You know what I mean? Man's been on the show alongside Sir Veterano. That was a fantastic look, man.
I got that coming, and in January I have a new project coming with Transformer, and Fashawn and Cassius King is featured on that album. It's coming out in January.
Bravo.
Mad. Yo, people, y'all just heard a classic, man.
And myself, Dre Taylor, and Nick Robinson, we have an EP coming out next year as well. All production is done. It's going to drop sometime in 2024. It's pretty much done. And me and P-Rob, we're coming out with our album in March. No titles we're dropping, but they are coming.
Wow.
We're waiting for it. We're
Amazing.
excited.
Amazing.
Excited for it.
You know what I mean? Congratulations to you, sir, man. All the accomplishments surrounding this album and everything, man. But with regret, our time is up, man. Thank you, everyone, for checking in. You know what I mean? Whether it's through the YouTube or whether it's through Wild One Radio, ReRocx, or International Fleet Radio, or Street Madness Radio, BDSAR Networks, whichever the case may be, man. I appreciate it, man. Man, we gotta run a Night to the Qube Table Part 2, man. This is amazing.
Definitely the two.
Yeah.
We gotta step it up. We gotta step it up a notch, man. Somehow, some way. Salute. Big ups, man. Big ups.
Peace, Leo.
So much for having me here.
Your life for seasons, but anything that happen is for a reason. Wake up, can't you see like total? Test it. 1, 2, 3. Ripple in your life.